Hello and welcome to this tutorial where we show you how to set up identity and integrate it with the single sign-on capabilities of Grafana using OpenID Connect. For those not familiar, identity is a workforce, customer, and citizen identity management solution built by Celusion Technologies. Let's start by navigating to our tenant on Grafana, hosted at solution.grafana.net. You can see that there's a single login button, sign in with grafana.com. Click on the sign in and you will be taken to the dashboard of Grafana. Open the menu, navigate to Administration, Authentication. You see a list of identity providers. We will go with generic OAuth. Set the display name as identity. This will be shown on your login button. Set the client ID as Grafana and the client secret as secret. The client ID and secret needs to be configured later in identity. Set the scopes as OpenID and profile. And then you need a set of URLs. These URLs can be picked up from well-known /OpenID configuration, which will be found at your base URL of identity, which in this case is identity.solution.dev/app, and then the well-known OpenID configuration. For some reason, Grafana fails to fetch that URL, so we will navigate directly to the endpoint and copy over the URLs from this endpoint. As you can see, the URLs are presented here. You first pick the authorization endpoint and paste it into Grafana. Next, move on to the token URL. And paste it into Grafana. And finally, the user information endpoint. You do not want users to sign up on the Grafana portal. You set up the sign out redirect URL. So we'll take it back to the login page on Grafana when a user logs out from Grafana. And now you need to do the mapping so that Grafana knows and can identify users who log in through identity. In identity, the attribute used is preferred_username, which has the login. And for email, the JMS path is email. You do not want to synchronize your roles, so you skip the roles from identity, save and enable this setting. You now log out from Grafana and you can see there's an additional button called sign in with identity. Now we move on to identity and set up an OAuth 2 client in identity. Log in using admin credentials, navigate to OAuth 2.0 clients, click on new client, set up the client ID that you had created in Grafana. The client ID was Grafana. You give it a display name, set the secret as secret, add the scopes, OpenID and profile, set the grant type as authorization code, move on to setting up the redirect URIs. The redirect URI would be solution.grafana.net/login/generic auth. Set the same in the post logout redirect URI. Go to local login, set the login flow as username password, remove the requirements for email and mobile confirmation, and save your OAuth client. Now navigate to people under directory, search for the user with which you want to log in. It's Praveen in this case. Note the username. The username here has been specified as the same username that is in Grafana. You may now log out of the administrator credentials from identity. Click on sign in with identity within Grafana. Put in the username, password, and click on login. You will be taken to the dashboard of Grafana. and you can see that the username matches what we just saw in identity. Well, that's how simple it is to set up single sign-on within Grafana using generic OIDC auth and identity. Thank you for watching and feel free to reach out for any support on identity and its capabilities.